Hello and welcome to Nice and Blunt. We have a very special guest joining us here. Leia is here and active. If you thought I was going to leave you hanging, no, you were wrong. Here I am on Sunday night, 10 p.m. Maybe you're on the East Coast, maybe it's tomorrow, but at least for me, it's still Easter. So we're going to do some late night drafting, hopefully get some plus EV. And yeah, maybe you'll catch this back on the replay. But happy Sunday, everyone. Let us begin. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Whoops. That was like a graph, some chart from like a video back last year. My bad. Anyways, I'll be packing a bowl. In the meantime, we will be getting it going. We're going to hop into a big board. I have 92 of these, and now the contest is at 94% full. So the plan is to be at 100 when this thing is full. We got to keep pace. We will be doing 2 drafts tonight. Doesn't matter the like goal. We will be getting it done. So if you would like to join me, let me know. Oh, no. I don't even know what I'm saying. If you would like to join, I hope you're ready. I hope you have it queued up. I'm going to go in. I'm going to hop in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Let's go. I think we're in. 2 spots. 2 spots. They fold instantly. Awesome. No time to wait. Sweet. Let me get the chat set up. Cuz I see y'all. I would like to bring y'all in. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, we're ready. What's up? How we doing, Hartman? Why did I say Hartman? Hartman will be on the channel tomorrow. Boy, you know what? Who aims? Indeed. Words hard. What's up, Wilson? Thank you for popping in. What's up? Come on, baby. Turn the lights off. Ayo. How you doing? Anio? No, we got to write the second time. But what's up, Who Hames? How we doing? We got Danimal in here. Yo, how you doing? Is Danimal in this draft as well? No, I see Wilson's in this draft. He has pick 9. And then we're drafting with False, but I imagine False is on just a lot of different lobbies. And this thing was mostly full when we hopped in. So who knows? If you're in here, let me know. I do see Wilson here in at 9. But then we have Who Hames just got a Swift at 67 team. Felt pretty good. Yeah, the 607. I've seen him fall mid-6th. It's odd. Not really sure why. He feels like a clear 5th rounder in my opinion. So that's a good price, man. Good for you. And then Daniel's been maxed since January, probably. There's a little bit of risk involved these days, but still, talent standpoint, I'll still take him. I don't have much of him. Don't have much Puka, but why not today? We did not get Jamar. We're at the 104. We don't get the 104 too often. So here we are. But you know what? Before I forget, let's bring in the music. Music by Jamie P. Rog. Appreciate you, Jamie. He sent me a new song last night. Yeah, he sent me a song last night. I will try to get it into the rotation. It's pretty solid, and we'll add a nice little vibe on top of what we already got going. So the draft 1, I'll keep it with this song, and then maybe draft 2 we'll hit him with the other one. But so far we are chilling. Let me know how your Easter went, how y'all's weekend was. Had a nice Sunday myself. Played some mini golf. Went to a little arcade as well. Had a nice time. Very nice time. But SDFS Media, happy Easter to you as well. Happy Easter to all who celebrate. And he is risen. Lovely day. Honestly, like, I think I've mentioned this on some other streams, and like, there's like the history of the calendar is messed up. Who did I talk about this with? I think I talked about it with Bindles because his birthday is April 1st. Oh, by the way, if Bindles is watching the replay, happy belated birthday, Bindles. a little bit late, but happy birthday. The real calendar used to start in April, and Easter is definitely like a very momentous time. Like spring has sprung, you know, it's just like a different feeling in the air. Exciting to be in April finally. But big run on running back there. We had 6 picks in the second, and then the last 2 picks of the first. So picks 11 through 18. That's 8 straight RBs. Is Chase Brown going to get taken here? That'd be interesting. No, Neighbors goes. But Chase Brown is off the board. ADP says Trey McBride. I don't have much London. I don't have much McBride either. But if there's one of these I think is more likely a 3rd round pick, not a 2nd, I think it's the tight end. Give me Drake London on this team. We'll go Puka, Drake London. Solid start. Maybe I get boxed out at running back in a way I regret. But I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be chilling. There's at least one name I'm comfortable with. There's also Jacobs on the thumbnail. I don't have much Jacobs. I took him in a bit of a panic on the Candyman stream about a month ago. That was, yeah, maybe like March 8th or 10th or something. And the more I thought about it after that, I don't really like Jacobs too much. Jacobs is fine. If he stays healthy, he'll be okay. He's just super touchdown dependent. Good offense. They are committed to him on the goal line. He's fine, but I kind of feel like he's getting older. Kind of feel like he's a little more injury prone. Kind of feel like the vibes are a little bit souring in Green Bay. Not that they're terrible, but just like, I don't know. There's something about him. Not too excited. But Jacobs does go 26. I'm not going to get him. But I think we're going to get who I want. Probably getting sniped. No, he goes Olave. Yeah, who I want is still on the board. We'll go Travis Etienne. The New Orleans Saints, new running back, gave him a good contract. The 2nd most coveted free agent. And they were not going to get Jeremiah Love in the draft. So the Saints get their guy, Travis Etienne. Looks like they have a plan for Kamara. Whoop-de-doo. Maybe he doesn't play. Doesn't sound like he wants to get traded, or at least he hasn't sounded that way in the past. But I think he's set up for a good year. He also can spike like crazy. He has some good spike potential. Here, I'll pull this up on a separate window, and then we'll bring it in. We'll pull up his game log with all the points that he scored last year. Solid upside. Like, he can be the guy you need one week where he's just the RB1. It's not like gonna happen all the time, but it can happen in the right moment. And just generally speaking, I feel pretty good about their offense there in New Orleans. They got a good schedule incoming this year, and I do like my New Orleans Saints. Not gonna lie, I'm starting to really buy in a little bit in recent history. But here, this is Travis Etienne's game log from last season, and these are the we'll just look at the point totals, not the stats, just the point totals. 17.1 in half PPR without a touchdown. 15.9, he did score a touchdown. 11.6, scored a touchdown. 19 points with a touchdown. 7.3, obviously no touchdown. 7.5 the week after. So not too great here. A little stretch of really bad games. I think he was on bye in week 8, if I'm not mistaken. And then he comes back with a 14-pointer, 14.7, 19.3. He did not miss this game, so not really sure what's going on. Yeah, there's the score. 19.1 in week 12. A stinker with 4.6, but then 20.7, 30 points in week 15. And then 14.6, no touchdown. Actually, he scored a touchdown on the ground. My bad. And then 10.2, he did not score a touchdown in this final game. So who cares about week 18? That's irrelevant. But a 30-pointer, a bunch of 19, 19, 20, you know, like pretty good production. And while that is in Jacksonville, he's on a new team. He's capable of giving you some house calls. I think they're going to commit to him in a pretty solid way. Kamara also like continuously just gets hurt. Cannot stay healthy every single year. So even if they bring back Kamara, I don't really give a shit. I'm on board with Etienne. Achan in round 3. I think he's a good pick in the 3rd. But Ladidi McConkey might make it to us at 45. Goes 44. Pretty effing close. But I think I'm going to go Travion here. I think he's a great pick. I really think for the sake of this contest, really good pick. I'm still going to like the receivers in the 5th coming back. While Devontae might just be the right guy, might just be the right click. I don't think the remaining running backs have the same upside as Travion Henderson, because even if Ramondre stays involved, Travion can spike with 30 points when you need it most. We'll wait for this next pick, and then we'll take a look at his game log as well. But Kyron, I like for me if he's there. I'll tell you this, if Etienne wasn't available and I went running back, it would have been Kyron Williams, but I probably would have taken Josh Allen or AJ Brown more likely above him. He's good, but then the Rams backfield just sometimes is more crowded than you might think. Like, Blake Corum started to get involved pretty consistently last season. It's not as much of just like his job straight up as some other guys, but love the DJ Moore click here. Adams is still on the board. Rome is also on the board, and then I think Lamar is just like a great pick. No, I'm gonna go DJ Moore. I'll take DJ Moore, but that one was a true toss-up. Could have really gone in any direction there. I'm not convinced that there was a clear and obvious best pick there. There's good picks, and then literally all those receivers come off the board, and then this team could go Lamar with Allen. It's not the worst decision. He does. Interesting. Yeah, don't hate it. Unique build. I mean, this is kind of a hit him with the gritty type of build. Don't hate it at all. Just needs to stop. Like, once you commit to this type of color palette up top, 3 green players, two purples, the orange picks are going to dry up, and you need to start 3 orange players, wide receivers, every single week. So not enough orange on this roster yet. But an interesting board dynamic. Everybody doesn't have a quarterback yet except for the team at 7, who has both Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. So maybe quarterback is going to come at a premium. I'm glad I have some really strong wide receiver talent to maybe counterbalance the advantage of Team 7. Team 7's very interesting. I would not count out Team 7 just yet. It could crash and burn, but it could also be elite. It could also be an amazing team. If Team 7 maneuvers it the right way moving forward. But SDFS says ETN is spicy. I think so too. I think he's a good pick. I think so. Who Hames says I have 6 big boards left. Hopefully it's still open for Tuesday night, or they open up another contest tomorrow. I don't know about tomorrow, but I do think once the big board is closed, they will be dropping another contest. Probably a smaller field. I'm sure you probably are either close to finishing up your War Room entries, or you only have like 1 left. Maybe you're already done with that too, but fighting the food coma. Love the Hendo pick. I was gonna mention it. We did not pull it up. Let's scroll over to Travion. Here we go. So terrible numbers to start the season, really bad, but then kind of got the job towards the end when Ramondre started to get hurt. Like these 3 weeks when Ramondre was down, holy shit. 10.7 with no touchdown, that's fine. Nothing amazing, it's fine. But then 27.5, hell yeah. 29.8, fuck yes. And then a 9.6 with Ramondre back, whatever. 10.1 the week after, whatever. And then off the bye with Ramondre healthy, had a 29.1 point game, down to 1.7. That's fucking terrible. How the fuck did that happen? And then sadly 8.2. We're on the clock. Burrow's still here. Hurts is still here. I think I'm gonna go. Fuck. I'm just gonna take Drake May. Yeah, maybe I should have taken Lamar, but the fallout from DJ Moore to Jordan Tyson, I think, is massive. I really think there's a huge drop off from like the wide receivers available in the 5th round to the late 6th, where like legitimately you can't convince me that Jordan Tyson, who's at the top of ADP right here, is that much worse than like Wan'Dale Robinson. Maybe he's straight up worse. Like, I think Wan'Dale could be a better pick than him. And Wan'Dale goes in like the 100s. Like, I genuinely feel like these next 4 rounds, I guess 3 rounds. Yeah, round 7, round 8, and round 9. All the receivers are so effing flat. You need to hit the right one that's going to score the most touchdowns. That's really the only deciding factor. And I'm not convinced that Jordan Tyson is going to be scoring the most touchdowns among the receivers available. So not needing to click it. Don't think it's crucial. We get a minor stack with Travion and Drake May. Travion does catch a lot of passes. So I like that stack. I think it's a pretty good one. But Burrow goes right after us to the team with Jamar. Go ahead and take him. And then Jalen Hurts goes at 72. Did not want Ramondre there. That's fine. Yeah, all these receivers like blend together in my opinion. Like really, I can't definitively tell you which one is the right one. So I'm just going to take one that I don't have a shit ton of. I'm going to go Michael Wilson. Could be a terrible click, but could also be phenomenal. Really high spike week potential for him. So I like that at the very least. We're getting some high upside if it does work out. But he might be like 4 rounds too expensive. There's a world where he's like worse than Omar Cooper Jr. potentially. But Who Hames says, I plan on doing some work on the channel today, but I also entered the food coma and done nothing. That's fair. The holiday, it's a good excuse to enjoy yourself. But by the way, mind looking over the war room we've done in a bit? Yeah, I'd be happy to do that for sure. Is it something I can access from Nevada that's an Underdog, right? Yeah, I believe Nevada is off limits for Underdog. I don't think so. I could check the map, but I don't have it downloaded. Actually, I might have it.
Nice and blunt.
Oh yeah, I think I do. Here we go. Holy shit, that's massive. Zoom the fuck it. Yeah, this is the availability of Underdog. Last I checked, I don't think it's been updated. So Nevada, unfortunately, in black is unavailable. All of the yellow states is where you can draft on Underdog. So unfortunately, yeah, I don't think Nevada is available. Yeah, sorry, man. Bummer. That's unfortunate. But maybe it's also saving you a lot of money. That's also possible. You can also sink a lot of money into Underdog sometimes. There is risk. There is risk. Do not risk money you are uncomfortable not getting back. That's always a factor with a website like this. But this is indeed Underdog. I wish I could play on Underdog Super Nevada. Yeah, but you like Fannin a lot. Fannin goes pick 81 in this one. I got Fannin a few days ago at 103. I got Fannin to fall 2 full rounds at 103 the other day. It was phenomenal. I was so happy. Dowdle is off the board. We almost got Algier. That would have been nice. Kind of a bummer. I think I'm just gonna take Romeo Dobbs. I could see Myers being a better click for sure, but I will take Dobbs. Get the stack with Drake May. And now our receiver room is just like so effing loaded. I can go in like any direction in the next round, and I think we're gonna be fine. I still think we can get an okay quarterback. Maybe I'm wrong, but what I like about the position I'm in, the quarterback in mind is Tyler Shuck. I think Tyler Shuck stacks pretty well with Achane, to be honest with you. Achane catches passes. We got the running back stacked up in New England with Drake May. We got his top receiver. The Olave drafter is on this side of the board. He's team 3. I'm team 4. So unless the Olave drafter takes Shuck at 99, I think I can get him at 117. So with that in mind, if I like the running backs there, I might take a running back, but I wanted Dobbins. He's off the board. Could get back in at quarterback right here as well. Not the end of the world. And then I also like the tight ends available in this range as well. But Pitts goes, so that leaves us Laporta. Do I pull up Pollard? I don't think so. I think we're going to be fine. Yeah, I'll just take my boy. Definitely Laporta is becoming like my most drafted tight end very quickly. But can you do drafters in Nevada? I'm not sure. I have no insights on drafters. But anything that falls under DFS laws is off limits. That's so weird. Such a weird situation. But I guarantee it's saving me money. I just put that money in the slot machines. Yeah, it's hard to avoid them in Nevada. They're everywhere. Like, as soon as you cross the border, they're fucking everywhere. But you know what, crew disser, appreciate you coming in here. You're dropping us the dabs. We're gonna take a big hit for you, man. Big hit incoming. If you got anything to smoke with me, go for it. I will see you on the other side of the drop. I told y'all I was overdue for a new pipe, so I got one. It is Chargers themed. It is yellow and blue. I guess technically it's yellow and green, but it's close enough. It's close enough. We got a minor Chargers themed pipe. New one I bought yesterday for $5. But fuck it. I'm gonna hit it again. Whenever I go to my girlfriend's house, typically I can just smoke on the patio. There's no problem. On the balcony, it's no problem. She has this like new roommate that's been like weird as fuck, and she's like,
Nice and blunt.
she's a fucking stickler for that shit. She's gonna snitch on me and shit, and tell the landlord and fucking ruin my girlfriend's spot. So, I'll go down the driveway down the street to take a rip. It fucking sucks. But I don't want her to get kicked out. But here, we don't give a shit. We can do whatever the fuck we want here. Hell yeah. I'm surprised I've never gotten flagged for smoking the pipe on the channel. You would think that maybe they'd care, but is Dadu gonna snipe me? I think Dadu might. Oh no, he goes. There we go. Yeah, we're in good shape. Both of our running backs are stacked up. And we just sniped the team with Olave. I'm sure they're fucking pissed about it. The team with Burrow just missed out on Tyler Shuck. Not gonna get him, bud. Sorry. Yahweh Free Breezy. Love the name. Hit it 20 more times. I think it's optimal to be ego-deathing during the draft. Might help you pick better because you'll ascend and get higher knowledge. I mean, I hope so, man. I hope so. I'm of the mentality, if I'm in a good mood, in a good vibe, I will be manifesting positivity, manifesting good luck. And even if it doesn't translate to this specific lobby and draft we're in, maybe this is a stinker. Maybe this team doesn't return any money. Maybe my 2 running backs through 10 rounds so far is terrible. But I think in general, just uplifting my overall psyche and self-confidence, self-esteem, just overall vibe, frequency at a higher resonance, that's going to translate into a bunch of different things all around. So this team needs running back. My favorite in this range is Rachaad White. I kind of think Chris Rodriguez might be a better pick. I'm worried about Jeremiah Love. And you know what? I got a shit ton of Rachaad White already. I'm going to go Chris Rodriguez. Let's do it. We fucked up last time. We had Rodriguez at 141 in a previous draft. Or no, I had him at 143 in a previous draft. This was a few days ago. And I fucking passed. And I was so upset. I took Jonathan Brooks instead. I was so upset. But Hammer is locked in for a starting quarterback for 4 to 8 weeks. Plenty of trade potential. Who's Hammer? I'm not. Luis is gonna trade a quarterback. Louisiana. Who the fuck is Luis? What am I missing? Luis is gonna trade a quarterback and snag a good running back. Easy. Y'all's gonna be begging him for a QB. Locked in with four. I don't know what you're talking about. Rapture. I'm not sure I know what you're talking about. Maybe I'm too high. Maybe it's too late. Maybe I'm just that slow. But maybe I'm just too old to get the reference. I'm in my 30s. Maybe I just don't get the reference. But locked in with 4 starting QBs in a 14-man, 2 QB league. Ouch. I think you're in... Okay, if I understand this correctly, you have 4 quarterbacks in a 2-quarterback 14-man league. That is a good position to be in. If I understand this correctly, that is a very good position to be in. You want the depth, you want the trading pieces, you want the responsibility at your fingertips. When you're in control in a 2-quarterback league at that position, you control your own destiny. When you have the most quarterbacks, especially the best room, you're in the best spot. I would take Aaron Jones here for sure if Dadu passes. Dadu only has 1 quarterback. It's Mahomes. There's Daniel Jones.
Nice and blunt.
I will exploit the weakness of teams 2 and 3. Team 2 only has Bo Nix. Team 3 only has Joe Burrow. And Cam Ward is the last real quarterback that you can take and feel good about it. Maybe the correct pick was taking Brissett in the next round. But Brissett's ADP is 157. I'm drafting 165. Would he have made it there? I'm not sure. I don't know. But to pull him up to 148 just because I have Michael Wilson, I don't think is as valuable as the shot on Cam Ward, who is the #1 overall pick and threw for over 4,000 passing yards at Miami 2 years ago in only 13 games. I think Cam Ward is capable of really dominating if he can figure things out. But Aaron Jones did go. Isaiah Likely's still there. Sweet. Perhaps I really should be drafting running back. Perhaps I'm going to regret it. But I kind of regret not taking more Isaiah Likely in more of the contest. I'm pretty underweight Likely from what I think I should be. Where I was last year, I was so in on Likely, and then he got hurt. And then I kind of doubled down, and obviously it didn't pay off. So I was pretty bitter about it when he was a free agent when this contest opened. And I don't think I've fully adjusted my mindset until recently, until last week when I had Young Moolah on the channel. I guess I was on his channel. But over the course of the collabs with Young Moolah, shout out GAB Sports, GAB for life, give him a follow. Look for that video. It was the day Waddle got traded. Waddle got traded. If you want to check out our stream with Young Moolah, he loves Isaiah Likely, and I am realizing I always have. I do too, and I think he has true league-winning potential because he can give you 140 yards receiving in a random game. He can truly go nuclear in that regard. So I don't want to be forgetting about him in this contest. Signed a big contract, followed John Harbaugh, and I think he's going to be overtaking Theo Johnson. Maybe not as much as we might hope for, but from a spike week standpoint, in best ball particularly, I want to be favoring guys like that. But what's up, Shamrock? How we doing? Good evening, Koala. We're at 10:30. Let me know what time it is for y'all. Some of y'all are not on the West Coast. Where are y'all watching from? I'm streaming from Southern California. and a happy Easter to everyone watching. But yeah, definitely in regards to that quarterback situation, hold on to the QBs, and when you can leverage a really good trade, get it done. We are about to be on the clock. Brian Robinson did go. That's kind of a bummer. I might just take Tajay, because I don't really love Woody Marks, but I actually don't have a lot of Pacheco. I'll take Pacheco. For sure, it's a position of need, but my receiver room is fucking awesome. I have Puka, London, DJ Moore, Michael Wilson, and Romeo Dobbs on this roster at receiver. So Puka and London, not going to exit the lineup too often. They're both getting double-digit targets every week. And then DJ Moore plays in Buffalo. Could have like a 13, 15 touchdown type of year with Josh Allen. And they traded a second-round pick in order to get him. So I trust DJ Moore in the 5th. I think he's a good pick. We have Laporte and Isaiah Likely. That feels good enough to stop at 2, honestly, if I really wanted. This team did not get a good price on Juwan Johnson. He went 155. Maybe I'll get a good price on Gunnar Helm. But we're getting a pretty good price on Kayshon Boutte. That does stack up with Drake May as well. Nah. I'm going to go Tyjae Spears. Queued him up in the last round for a reason. That Cam Ward combination is pretty good. Tyjae can catch a ton of passes. Tyjae could give you like 4.5 receptions per game on average this year. That could be a sneaky stack, actually. And maybe they don't actually draft Jeremiah Love. I'm starting to think they pass, honestly. I'm starting to think they pass. Pick 4, or is it pick 3? I forget which pick they have, but they're in the top 4. That's a little pricey for a running back. They have a lot of needs, and there's some truly elite talent, and like in general, running back is something you can always get kind of later. So I want to scoop up the fall on Tyjae a little bit more than the fall on Pollard. Like Tyjae 172, if they don't draft Love, is like such a value. And then if they do, I wouldn't imagine they cut Tyjae. I'd imagine they cut Pollard or trade him. Like Pollard, I think, is the one more likely to be shipped out. But you never know. At the very least, dodging Jeremiah Love is one reason why Tyjae might be going like 50 picks too late. Like it's possible that Tyjae is the correct pick where I took Chris Rodriguez. Maybe even higher than that. Maybe. I could also see him still be worth less than where I just took him. There's still a lot of risk involved. Like imagine if they draft Jeremiah Love and also don't get rid of Pollard and change anything. They have all 3. That would suck. That's also possible, but let's mix him in. I think at this price, nobody else is more inspiring, other than a very select few names. But False took one of them with Brian Robinson Jr., the Falcons backup. Now the other one I really like is Tank Bigsby. He went off the board, but if you're telling me the Titans don't draft running back in the first round, then Tyjae would be much more valuable than Tank Bigsby, straight up. So I think this is a good price to be getting Tyjae Spears. At the moment, I'm in on 15th round, Tyjae Spears. But have I watched A Night of the Seven Kingdoms? I have not. I have not. My only question, Silver Rapture, who is Luis? Who is Luis? Damn it. Good pick, Dadu. Good job. Instead, we're going to get a stacking option with Chimeri DK. My 6th wide receiver. Let's go. has good established chemistry already with Cam Ward. Don't think he's going to disappear, and doesn't have the injury risk of Calvin Ridley. So I'm less a believer in Elik Ayamanor, and maybe DK does really not contribute because Wandale just has his job. But I'm not as afraid of Ridley. I'll still draft Ridley now on occasion, but if there's one name I'm really trying to backstack Cam Ward with, I think it's mostly Chimeri DK. I think he's the more appealing of the four options. Like there's Tajay, there's Ridley, there's DK, and then there's also Gunnar Helm. I guess there's Elik Ayamanor as well, so there's 5. But Elik, I think, is the one I'm definitely least excited about. Likely and Darnell Mooney are smashes if Neighbors misses extra time. That's for sure. I think they can really coexist alongside him. Like, Wandale is leaving. Wandale gets 140 targets, like, regardless. Wandale leaving is huge. I could take Mooney here as well. I think that's interesting, but I'm just going to bet on Likely, and I'm going to get my third tight end. We're going to get another stacking partner with Cam Ward. Like, really make the bet. When I took Ward, I didn't have a single Titan up to that point, you know? So, like, let's really commit. These last 3 picks were all Titans at running back, wide receiver, and tight end. So, a nice little triple stack in Tennessee. I think one of the more underrated, underpriced offenses that can take a major leap. It's a winnable division. Their schedule is a 4th place schedule. They have a high draft pick, not just in round 1, but every single round. They're going to be selecting some of the better athletes in that round. And I love the coaching additions that they've brought in. Not only the head coach with Robert Saleh, one of the most prepared defensive units last season that really did a lot with not much. You know, we really didn't expect much from them after the injuries happened, and they really showed up. Even in the playoffs, they didn't make it look difficult to beat the Eagles. And then him moving to Tennessee takes over a lot of, like, just mental effort that Brian Daboll doesn't have to spend because he's only the offensive coordinator. Brian Daboll as offensive coordinator is really the most exciting situation, but he doesn't have to be the head coach. He can just hone in his focus on offense. And I think he has a chip on his shoulder. I think both of those coaches, having failed in New York, going to Tennessee, pairing up, can relate to each other's, you know, trauma, so to speak. I think that's a really, really underrated combination. I'm excited for Tennessee. Not gonna lie, I picked them last year to win the division. I'm probably gonna do that again. I think that division is totally up for grabs, and why not? But more likely, it's going to be the Jaguars who win that division. Jaguars or Texans. But on the clock, running back is disgusting, but I'll queue up Justice Hill. There's a world where Hollywood Brown is actually a pretty good pick. I'll take him. Why not? Why not? The team with Jalen Hurts is probably going to be mad about it. The team with Hurts has Goddard at least, but probably mad about it. Jeremy Bernard already off the board, 205. That's typically one of the directions I like to go in here. Also, like Elijah Surratt, I think a pro-ready wide receiver. Not as flashy as Omar Cooper Jr., but arguably just as legit. I think Surratt's a great value at 209. Horton does get taken. I would have been fine with Torrey Horton. I think I'm just going to start to scroll at running back because wide receiver is loaded. Puka, London, DJ Moore, Michael Wilson, Romeo Dobbs, Chimeri DK, and Hollywood Brown. I kind of just want to take 2 running backs here. I want to get different and go Trevor Etienne Because if the Panthers don't draft someone, then you can't tell me that like you actually believe Chuba Hubbard and Jonathan Brooks are just like locks to keep the job. I can 100% seeing them like trying to give Jonathan Brooks the job and then him just failing again. You know? I don't think Chuba Hubbard can withstand 100% of the work share, and if Brooks is going to be nothing, then I think the random shot on Trevor Etienne. Trevor Achan. Yo, if Travis Achan wasn't confusing enough, we have Trevor Achan on this team from Carolina. Holy shit. So double Achan on this team. I think at this stage of the game, like I only have 8 of these entries left. I gotta get different. I gotta get unique and different. And I still believe that the Panthers backfield has some value, and why not just like full send fade the other guys? I don't think that's crazy. That's the one where I think it's fine to mix in the third stringer. But we got Pacheco on this team. We got ETN on this team. We got ETN on this team again. I think I need 7. Ty Simpson, Frere. No, we got Cam Ward's the third. I don't think I need a prayer on Ty Simpson. But what's up, Peppertoni? You Fimps from Chicago. Chicago's popping in the sports game at the moment these days. Maybe not as much in basketball as you would like, but in general, Chicago's looking up. My apologies. Some guys were asking my opinion on a different stream. Yo, that's pretty funny. I'm like, who the fuck is Luis? Who the fuck is Luis? And then to get different again, I don't think I'm gonna go Justice Hill actually. I might go Ty Johnson, Jerome Ford, kind of interesting. Fuck it, let's go Jarquez Hunter. Let's mix it up. Like, these last 2 picks could be just true zeros. Could just be true zeros. But if we were in BBM and we had 5 running backs, we'd be okay. You know what I'm saying? And on this team, I'm willing to convince myself that maybe, just maybe, Tyjae Spears is actually one of the best league-winning clicks on the board. At 172, definitely possible. I don't think he's going to be a non-factor wherever he is. So that, let's bet on that. Let's bet against Baishal Tootin and go Chris Rodriguez. A little confidence, but really we're trusting the Travion Henderson breakout and then ETN to just be the man. Just the man. With Tyler Shuck stacked up. We got Drake May double stacked with Travion Henderson and Romeo Dobbs. I did not bother to take another one super late, but Mac Hollins I think would have been interesting on this team. Not many people take Mac Hollins. They got a good rapport, good chemistry. Mac Hollins is woke as well in the right ways. Maybe not. Mac Hollins had like a protest for like Palestine when he showed up for the Super Bowl. Shout out Mac Hollins. Free Palestine. But then receivers fucking loaded on this team with Puka, London, DJ Moore, Michael Wilson, Romeo Dobbs, Chimeri DK, and then Hollywood Brown. I like it. Tight end room feels great as well. Sam Laporta, Isaiah Likely, and Gunnar Helm. The running back room is the only question mark, and I'm fine with it. We got Travis Etienne Jr., Travion Henderson, Chris Rodriguez, Isaiah Pacheco, Tyjae Spears, and then 2 shots in the dark on Trevor Etienne of the Carolina Panthers and Jarquez Hunter of the LA Rams. Solid backfields, and if they ever get the job, they would be waiver wire gems. They might be sitting on the waiver wire all 17 weeks, could be absolute zeros. That's why we took 2. Getting different with those guys. Let's recap the chat and then hop into another draft. Maybe we'll take a look at Wilson's team first, but let me catch up with the chat. We have turn the lights off. I was going to say, I think you're in the wrong chat, man. Sounds like Smitty's draft. That would track. TV and phone, multiple tasking, smoking that sweet Sheba, and drinking some Miller Lite. You are forgiven. I forgive you, Silver Rapture. But later, Who Hames, have a good night. Haven't really seemed like a good price. He's okay, but I prefer Taijay in that round, and then I think Chimera DK could just be better. Definitely healthier, that's for sure. All right, check it. Was watching a 14-man Superflex draft. Luis had 4 QB, JD5, Dak, Ward, and Bryce. Other dude had Cousins at QB1. We know which team we'd rather have in that situation. I think Mooney is just a smash. He's pretty good, but I am more inclined to take him when I have Jackson Dart. Where did I pass on Mooney? Where did Mooney go? Was Mooney still on the board? Oh no, he went 198. I took Gunnar Helm instead of Darnell Mooney. I think for the team I had, it was okay. Like, I had Isaiah Likely. I'd rather just bet on that because Neighbors is going to be crazy. Neighbors is probably getting 200 targets if he's fully healthy. And I don't have Jackson Dart, so I don't think I need to be fully committed, but I do think the price on Mooney is appropriate. There's no risk. I think he's a good click. He could go higher. He could go Jalen Naylor, Jerry Jeudy high. I could see that. I could see him versus Brandon Ayuk one day. Straight up. I don't think that's crazy. Not at all. But Mooney, arguably a better player than Wandale, and has never had a better quarterback. I do like the reunion with Matt Nagy for Darnell Mooney. That was the best career season in that system. His health has fallen off. I don't want to underestimate his health concerns because that's really been the problem last couple years. But quarterback play should be better. If you're telling me Darnell Mooney gets Jameis Winston ever, that's going to be fucking awesome. Like, there's a lot of good outs for Darnell Mooney. I think he's a good click. I would agree. But I don't know if I have to force it as much as a stack like I wanted there. But definitely could have been the correct decision. Even over Chimera DK. I did take DK over Mooney. Maybe that was a wrong choice. But they're in a similar tier, and I have the stack. Jumped in a draft on the Guys Stream Entertainment for sure. Koala wanted Vele. I'm not a believer in Vele. I think Vele needs to survive the draft. I think they could be drafting a really good receiver in the first or second round. If you're telling me like they have Omar Cooper Jr. as their number 2 guy, or like even Surratt or Jeremy Bernard, yeah, let's say Jeremy Bernard goes to the Saints. I would not be happy about any Vele shares. So I don't really stack him up. He's fine. It's around 20, so who cares? But I don't need to force it. I had ETN. I had the running back stack. I'm not in love with the Vele combination. I wouldn't say Brooks failed. He rushed back in and tore his ACL again. Yeah, but ultimately, like, what he's there to do, he's been a failure. You know what I mean? Like, he's been a bust. But yes, it's been injuries. If he overcomes the injuries, he'll be the next J.K. Dobbins. Could average over 5 yards per carry. I think he has the talent. But the same ACL, like, to fade him when I'm already very committed to him, like with Trevor Etienne here, I'm like, I saw my Panthers exposures and I was like, shit, this is risky. So I still don't love the Chuba Hubbard argument. Why not Trevor Etienne? You know, why not mix him in just a little bit? But it could definitely be terrible. Definitely could be terrible. Different is Khalif Raymond, Zacchaeus Dotson, Tez Walker, and Yoshivis. Other than, I haven't taken Khalif Raymond. I'll let you know that. I wish we could draft Jade Walker. That'd be awesome. But Zacchaeus is really interesting. Dotson also pretty interesting, but I think I'm starting to favor Zacchaeus a little bit, straight up. Tez, I take a lot with Lamar, and then Yoshi, definitely on my radar, even unstacked. Pretty good guys to have. Yeah, I have most of them. I don't have any Khalif Raymond though, but ETN squared for sure, definitely. Yeah, I think that's the argument. I mean, like, could totally crash and burn. He had 0 touches last year, but Corum was a bust 2 years ago, and then now we like trust Corum. So why not mix him in just a little bit? I think having 3% Jarquez Hunter, 3% Trevor Etienne, not the worst thing in the world. But at the moment, I think this is the 3rd time I've literally taken Jarquez, and then this is the 1st time I've taken Trevor Etienne. But Vele is a Nico Collins light. He was catching fire the 3 games before he got injured with Shuck last year. I think that's overselling him a little bit. I don't consider him fucking matchup proof the way Nico Collins is. With all due respect, my comp for Nico Collins is not Devon Vele. Maybe I'm overlooking Devon Vele in that aspect, but let's just remind you, Nico Collins, he's 6'4", 215 pounds, 34-inch arms, like really long arms. Nico Collins has a major advantage being in the 97th percentile of arm length. That is huge. Very underrated aspect of Nico Collins. Only runs a 4.5, but weight adjusted in the 90th percentile. And then, like I mentioned, those arms, that's what gives him the elite catch radius in the 95th percentile. But 6'4", 215. My Nico Collins light will be Cedric Tillman. It's loading. Here we go. Cedric Tillman is 6'3", so an inch shorter, 213 pounds, 32-inch arms. See what I'm saying? Like the underrated extra aspect of Nico Collins. Also runs a 4.5, weight adjusted, pretty solid. Catch radius not as good, and then even Player Profiler mentions it as well. Best comp is Nico Collins, but let's take a look at Vele. Maybe I'm gonna be wrong about Devon Vele. 6'4", 203, so like 10 pounds lighter. 33-inch arms though, better than Cedric Tillman. I'll give you that. 4.47 on the 40, so a little bit faster. However, the catch radius is kind of the same. Odd that the catch radius is the same, but they're both okay. Yeah, I definitely was going to pull up both. They're both fine. Vele was a 7th rounder. Tillman was a 3rd rounder. I guess this 3rd round pick is where I give the edge mentally, but I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're off base at all. Like Vele was a good value draft pick, like Sean Payton isolating someone that's valuable, and then they also turned him into like a 4th rounder. So he's underrated, but I could also just see him not really do much. He's 27, and then Cedric Tillman is 25, about to be 26. So almost 2 years younger. But it's not like Tillman has done anything either. Like that's the thing. I don't draft Tillman. I don't draft either of these guys. But just under targeted in my opinion. He has some good tape last year. He's okay. I don't want to make it sound like I would never consider him, but I will admit I have like 3 shares of Vele, and I think 2 of them are with like guests on the show. In general, he's not someone I'm like pulling up, but Vele is a dog. They traded for him. Great big slot. Maybe I'm underestimating him. You know what? Maybe I should be mixing him in. I just I didn't feel like I needed receiver at the end of that draft. Like I felt like my receiver room was fine with Puka, London, DJ Moore, Michael Wilson, Romeo Dobbs, DK, and Hollywood Brown. Perhaps instead of Hollywood Brown though, he would have been pretty solid. But let's bet against AJ Brown staying there. Maybe Hollywood gets a big bump. I could see some big spike potential. Good touchdown production randomly for Hollywood Brown. But yeah, I could see Vele being better. Could see him be more valuable. Maybe I'm underestimating him, but I don't think I have a single rookie on this team. Yeah, not a single one. Don't hate it. Don't think it's the end of the world. I'm fine with this. But before we move on, just want to take a look at Wilson's team, and then we will pull up another draft. I promise you. Wilson, 32 out of the 9 slot, goes 3-6-8-3, which T-Law, Jared Goff, and Massage Watson. Gross. That's gross. Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, Cam Scattaboo. Both New York running backs. At least Scattaboo at pick 64, so much more palatable, but a little bit tricky. I still think it's good. I think it's pretty good. We got Jonah Coleman at 136, good little fall in value. Tank Bigsby, you know I'm over the moon with. And then Najee Harris is fine to mix in. I could see him be worthless. I could see him be just as valuable as Jarquez Hunter as well. But Amon-Ra, Zay Flowers, Brian Thomas, looking pretty good. Casey Concepcion, I feel like I'm underweight a little bit too much on Casey Concepcion. I've been trying to scoop him up a little bit more lately, but I've gotten sniped a lot. Jaden Higgins, Jerry Jeudy, Naylor, and Malik Washington. So solid depth. The top, I think, is very good, but I'm a little worried about Jeudy. Naylor, I could see also be trash, but solid enough. Concepcion, big. If Concepcion's a hit, I think your receiver room is fantastic, but there are some pitfalls here where if Brian Thomas doesn't quite pay off, and neither does Concepcion, I could see that third receiver be a little bit tricky at times to fill in well. But Fannin, Strange, and Dawson Knox, that's getting it done. That's fine. A little unique with Knox, but I don't hate it at all. And then I did hate the Deshaun Watson pick, but in general, I don't like the Breece Hall selection. So there's a few clicks I just personally am not making very often. But structurally pretty sound. And I think receiver is good enough up top where some of the risk in the middle, I think, is mitigated. I wouldn't write this team at all. I wouldn't write this team off at all. I think it's definitely live. We got the Goff stack with Amon-Ra. We got the Brian Thomas, Trevor Lawrence stack also with Brenton Strange. And running back's pretty competitive. I think you're good, but is he stacked? Oh yeah, you have Jerry Jeudy stacked up with Massage Watson. Good luck with that. One final review on my team, and then we will be drafting one more. Just a quick reminder, I took a 3-7-7-3 type of build out of the 4 pick. We get Drake May, Tyler Shuck, and Cam Ward. I have Travis Etienne, Travion Henderson, Chris Rodriguez, Isaiah Pacheco, Tyjae Spears, Trevor Etienne, Jarquez Hunter. Unique. I'll give it that. A little thin up top, but I think those two can get the job done, and I do think the depth fills in pretty well. I think the floor of Rodriguez, if he does score a bunch of touchdowns, we're in great shape. And then Tyjae could be terrible. This team might be really bad without him contributing much. But I could also see him really pay off at 172. And his ADP is 180. His ADP is way too low right now. I think there's a bit too much panic on Tyjae Spears, but I could be wrong. Maybe he's dog shit. And this running back room is dog shit. Like, super risky with Pacheco, Tyjae, Trevor Etienne, Jarquez Hunter. It's all going to hinge on Etienne, Henderson, and Rodriguez for the most part. But I'm willing to take that risk. I'm willing to give it a shot like that, and I'm fine pushing running back just a little bit past my comfort zone, because our receiver room is fantastic. Puka unstacked, but who cares? London is unstacked, but who cares? DJ Moore unstacked, I don't give a shit. Michael Wilson is either a terrible click here or really fucking good, and if he is that good, then I don't care. Don't need him stacked up. I'd rather have Cam Ward than Jacoby Brissett. But Romeo Doubs is stacked up. Kamari DK is stacked up. Hollywood is a pretty good bet right now at 213 if you do believe that AJ Brown gets traded. And whether that happens at the draft, after June 1st, sometime in training camp, or at the trade deadline, I do think there's a world where Hollywood Brown is like running all of the routes as the wide receiver 2 in Philly if they move off of AJ Brown. So that upside alone, I think, is worth it. I'm not counting on him very much, given who else I have. Love this receiver room. Some risk, but a lot baked in to just automatic good points. Tight end with our elite option at a really nice value pick, 100 overall. Sam Laporta is, I think, one of the best tight end prices you can find. And then another major swing for the fence in Isaiah Likely. And then Gunnar Helm, at the moment, the clear tight end 1 in Tennessee. I'm hoping he avoids David Njoku, but I don't think there's going to be a rookie that slides in that beats him for the job. I think he can take over the main role. He had about 50 targets last year, and then Chig Okonkwo is gone, and Chig had 79 targets last season. So those are going to be dispersed throughout multiple positions. Definitely Wandale eats up a lot of them, but we have the Cam Ward stack that's an undervalued, really high upside offense. For the price, I think they could be league winners, and we do have Cam Ward stacked up at running back, wide receiver, and tight end. I have all 3 of my quarterbacks stacked up with running backs. I don't hate that. Travis Etienne in New Orleans, Travion Henderson in New England, and then Tyjae Spears in Tennessee. All 3 of them catch passes, and I think they could give you a multiple touchdown week in the passing game. Like, imagine if in week 17 we have Cam Ward throwing 2 touchdowns to Tyjae Spears specifically. That'd be pretty dope. Anyways, maybe I didn't build it correctly, but I like this team a lot. I think I built a quite competitive team. Not gonna lie. We will be doing one more, a big board, and I'll give you just a moment to catch up. We'll take a little smoke break, and then I'll hop in. So, see you on the other side. If you got anything to join me, smoke it if you got it. But I'll see you in like 10 seconds. I forgot to fade the music out. We had overlapping music. My bad. In fact, we're going to change the music. And let me fade this in. Different music for draft number 2. And we're hopping into a big board in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 2 spots left, down to 1. It is full. So just like last time, if you wanted to get in, I hope you clicked it before I did. If not, maybe you did not make the lobby. But we do have Wilson in again. Good to see you, Wilson. Also, AA cracked. Definitely drafted with cracked before. You getting cracked over there? I hope not. In at 11. Good luck, my man. Good luck. But Vele is Sutton light. Michael Thomas Jr. light. Even Leia didn't like Massage Watson. Heard a loud meow there. That's funny. Yeah. Gotta keep her happy. Koala also likes Trey Tucker a lot. Tucker and Naylor, the gem, is one of them. I could also see them just not do anything. I could also just see it's only Bowers and Genty that you want. I could also see that. But Naylor, most likely, I think, is the guy with the most spike week potential. Most consistent down the field option, if I had to guess. Silver Rapture is a Raiders fan. We will draft the wide receiver. Tucker and Naylor are playing a lot of snaps either way. You sure they're gonna like? They also have Jack Batch. They also have Dante Thornton. I'm not sure, man. I feel like they need some offensive linemen, and they can't take an offensive lineman in round 1 because they're going Mendoza. So if they do draft receiver, I think it's going to be later in the draft, and I'm not convinced they need it. They have Bowers, they have Trey Tucker, they have Jalen Naylor, they have Jack Betch, they have Dante Thornton, and then I think they don't have Tyler Lockett anymore. They did have Tyler Lockett though. Try to go no safety deep versus either one of them, and you're in trouble. Both faster than JSN and will be great on crossers. Yeah, but if the offensive line can't stop anyone, is that play going to develop in time? Or is Mendoza going to be scrambling and he's going to say, fuck it, Bowers is over in that direction. Let's throw it to Bowers. Kubiak can make Tucker or Naylor a JSN. Definitely a better play caller, though. I'll give you that. The play caller edition. That's huge. That's underrated. JSN's nothing more than Egbuka in a better situation. Bold take. That's bold. I'm a little thin on CeeDee Lamb teams, so I'm going to mix in CeeDee Lamb, but in general, you've seen me take Amon-Ra and Justin Jefferson way more. Way more. But we'll go CeeDee Lamb today. How many war rooms have I done? I've done 2. I'm saving my remaining 2 for potentially a guest, and then I might just stop at 2. That way I can make a profit a little bit more easily in that tournament. But I might only do 1 more on the stream. I don't know. I think JSN is top 5. He goes at pick 6 here. Taylor goes above him. I would have taken JSN over Taylor. I also would have taken Jamar Chase over Puka. And at the moment, I know we did it in the last one, but if I was in my home league and we had the same information as today, I might go JSN over Puka. Straight up. I would trust him a lot to be top 5 at the position. That feels like a lock. Yeah, I'm not convinced you need a receiver in Las Vegas. I think the O-line is a bit more important. Yeah, for them to be drafting at the top of the second, it's going to be very, very tempting to pass on one of those receivers. If Mendoza asks for it, then yeah, undoubtedly it'll probably happen. But I'm not convinced that's the move. Okay. This is, nah, my ranks have Walker. I'll go Walker. Still gonna treat Saquon. Ooh, I would not go Chase Brown over Saquon. I'll say that. I would not do that. I'm starting to think I might consider Saquon over Achane, like Devon Achane from Miami. I'm starting to come back around a little bit on Saquon. I have so much Tank Bigsby, though. I think in general, I kind of want to stick with my like initial thesis that my intuition told me this year I'd rather have a lot more Tank Bigsby than even just like an average amount of Saquon. But maybe I've pushed it a little overboard. I have 4% Saquon Barkley. I have a ton of Kenneth Walker, a lot of it in the 3rd round. So maybe just for the sake of the build, getting a little different, maybe the CeeDee Lamb Saquon combo would have been less common. But my ranks, I will just stick to them. Does have Kenneth Walker above Saquon by 1 selection. By only 1 selection. JSN and Darnold are in trouble with without Kubiak. I don't know if they're in panic mode, but I don't feel convinced that the Seahawks are winning their division again. Not convinced that's going to happen. But JSN is a great route runner with good hands, but he doesn't have elite speed, size, or contested catchability. That was Kubiak's scheme. I hope you're wrong. I think he can still put up great production. I think everything was just going really idyllic in Seattle last year. JSN is like a Superman version of Doug Baldwin, not the fastest guy, but the twitchiest and sharpest route runner in the league, arguably. He's a smart player. Just watch his Rose Bowl tape. If you're gonna question him, just put on his tape from the Rose Bowl. That man is impressive. But we have the 3 4th-rounders. If Surratt is around, we'll probably snag him. If they are drafting someone early, it's definitely one of Mendoza's receivers. But he reminds me of a half Marvin Harrison, half Golden Tate. He's pretty smooth. Like, he's not clunky in his movement. I think he's very intentional with every step he takes. Kyron goes. I would have been fairly happy with Kyron. I don't have much Tet. Because my rankings say T. Higgins is the better click. I'm gonna go T. Higgins. In my heart, I cannot go Tet over T. Higgins. Just can't do it. T, with all due respect to Off the Schneid, sounds like OTS did not really love T. Higgins in the 3rd year. I think he's fair. I think late 3rd is totally legit. The 3-4 turn, I think he's the most valuable receiver after AJ Brown and Olave are off the board. He can give you a 2-touchdown, 125-yard game. Spike week alone. He helped me win a championship 2 years ago. I got a soft spot for T. Higgins. What can I say? But opens us up for the Joe Burrow stack. That's always pretty nice. No complaints there, if that's what we end up with. But I'm not gonna force it. Tet goes 38, so fell to the 4th. Lamar goes at pick 39, double A crack. Interesting. Damn, do I just take Breece Hall here? Maybe. I wanted to go I wanted to go Javonte Williams, though. I wanted this Dallas commitment. I wanted to commit to the Cowboys. Breece goes 42. I think he could still go lower. I think Breece could be picked 50. And then I'm in. Then I'm in at pick 50. Because even that could still be not worth it. But 42 probably more appropriate. Marvin Harrison Sr. was elite route runner and hands, crisp, no speed or size, nothing like his flop of an offspring. I'm willing to give Junior. I'm willing to give Junior one more season. I'm willing to just blame Kyler Murray. However, Michael Wilson's breakout was a big indictment on Marvin Harrison. But he was also banged up last year. Multiple factors. His dad did take a while, though, to get going. If you look at Marvin Harrison Sr.'s stats, it's not until year 3 when he really pops. But that's when he gets Peyton Manning. Year 1, 836 and 8 touchdowns. That's basically identical to what Marvin Harrison Jr. did his rookie season. In year 2, whoops, my bad. Whoa. Get rid of this shit. In year 2, pretty much identical numbers, fewer touchdowns, slightly more catches, same amount of targets, so nothing changed. And then year 3, he actually got hurt. He was actually really bad. He only played 12 games, 776 yards, 7 touchdowns, like really nothing special for Marvin Harrison Sr. His first 3 seasons. The average was 826 yards, 7 touchdowns on 65 catches per season. And it's not like the volume was bad. 118, 118, 122. But then year 4 is when he fucking popped. 1,663 yards, 12 touchdowns. And then every year after that, just all-pro caliber dominance from Marvin Harrison Sr. So maybe give his son a little bit of time. But Rome falls here. Fuck yeah. I'll definitely take Rome at 57. Behind Parker Washington? Holy shit. I'm shocked the team with Loveland passed. That is fucking wild. That's crazy to me. But Rome in the 5th, I think anywhere is a good pick, that let alone at the end of the 5th. Lamar Jackson went in the 4th round, so hell yeah. Back when they didn't start rookies, everybody sat. Year 3 breakout receivers. Tight ends didn't start for 5 years. I was there. That's fair. But maybe give his son one more season. One more season. And maybe one season after that, because it's not like their quarterback situation is good. But in general, I'm not drafting him. I'm not going to defend Marvin Harrison Jr. I've like never really been in on drafting him. I tolerated a little bit his rookie year, but then last year I wasn't in. I'm not in this season. I would much rather take a quarterback in round 6 than Marvin Harrison. But interesting here. I think I will take Burrow. But Carnell Tate sounds pretty good in this range. RJ Harvey's also not bad. You know what? I'll go Carnell Tate in the 6th. That feels pretty solid. Push it just a little. That team with Loveland goes Caleb. There was the team with Luther Burden on the backside. So they maybe Chico Shake. If I was that team, I might have pushed it. Might have, but in this lobby, Lamar did go pick 39, so maybe not. But I might have pushed it. It probably wouldn't have worked out, though. I probably would have gotten punished by, like, team 1 or something. But so far, the team feels pretty strong, and I'm a little bit more committed to the Cowboys stack than the Bengals stack. I have a lot of Burrow and Higgins teams, not gonna lie. Quite a few of them. But unless this team at 2, Durbin, goes Dak here at 74, I think I'll get Dak, and I can probably push him to 88. Dak's typically in the 8th round, not the 7th. So I think I'll be okay. Getting thirsty, though. Need some water. I can't believe I had this the whole time. Forgot about it. This goblet of water. But with that in mind, we're going to take a smoke break after this next pick. Wilson's not going to take Dak. Says don't worry. Wilson has Jaden Daniels. Didn't think he was in the market for. I'm a little worried about Team 12. Because you could just lock it in. You're gonna go Jake Ferguson later and like warrant the Dak selection. But I think I'm gonna be okay. I think they'll probably go Herbert. Tila does go. I was hoping Tila was. What the fuck? Feel Good Inc. Fucking the gorillas are in this draft. Goes Dak unstacked. That's a bummer. In that case, I'll push one more time. And I'll go Rico Dowdle. Just gonna get ahead of it, take the running back I want the most. The team goes Jackson Dart. Almost took him. Team with Neighbors gets him. Good for him. Team also had Scattaboo. Would have been fucking pissed, I'm sure, had I not taken Dowdle. But I'm okay. Not upset. I'm really not going to take him. Well, you didn't have a chance to. I didn't have a chance to either. Dak went 79. Unprompted. And then the team taking Herbert, also kind of shocking. They only have Parker Washington. I assume they wanted Lawrence. Where's Double A Cracked gonna go? Ricky Pearsall. Not a bad price on Fannin, not gonna lie, but the state of the position, I'm much more inclined to just. Yep, I'll take Brock Purdy. All in a very similar tier. Didn't see a huge difference between Dart versus Purdy. Even Stafford, you could argue, is still in the same category. So whichever one is still on the board there. Even if I was going Bo Nix, I would have been happy. Mahomes also would have lined up with our Walker selection. So I could have taken Dart. None of those teams took Rico Dowdle. Or a different running back, I should say. Quarterback was definitely kind of the play. But all the same tier to me. I get the last one. And just lock up who I really, really want. In order to feel comfortable at running back. We have Walker, Javonte Williams, and Rico Dowdle as our top 3 running backs. That feels pretty comfortable to me. I'm happy with that. And then wide receiver, we have CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, Rome Odunze, and Carnell Tate. I almost took Burrow instead of Carnell Tate. Maybe that would have been a good decision. But from the talent perspective and where Carnell Tate, I think, will be drafted, I'm willing to bet that in round 6, he is a very good click. I think it's worth it. But perhaps when this draft is over, I would feel better about having Burrow than Carnell Tate. Perhaps I will regret it. But Fannin goes pick 90 in this one. Kraft at 96. That's pretty dope. Lazy Kid got a nice price on Tucker Kraft. But I think I mentioned it, and I didn't do it. We're going to take a rip from the pipe. Well, at least the team with Herbert is not going to get Quentin Johnston. I'm happy about that. But it's going to be interesting if Wilson with Daniels and Bo Nix goes with a third quarterback at this 9-10 turn, or if Double A Cracked does it as well. They got Lamar and Jackson Dart. Are they going to go overkill with a third? I could see Superfly Guy 19 double tap the position. I could see that happen. Gainwell off the board. Dobbins still here. I'll take Dobbins. Yup, I'll take Dobbins. I almost took Harvey at 64, and I would have hated that if I passed on Burrow for Harvey to get Dobbins at 105. I think Dobbins could be going like back to back with Harvey. Not gonna lie. Last year in my full PPR league, 12-team league, snake draft, I wound up with RJ Harvey and J.K. Dobbins. Week 1, I started Harvey. I didn't start Harvey again until Dobbins got hurt. Dobbins was the man. Way more effective when he got the ball. But interesting run on running back at the end of round 9 here. Gainwell, Dobbins, Pollard, Jadarian Price, and Blake Corum all go back to back to back to back to back. To back? Might have said one more. One too many. But the Mahomes team did not take a quarterback. Interesting. So especially if these two teams pass, I'm going to get a good one. Going to get my preference in this tier. Concepcion goes. I don't hate Oronde Gadsden at this price, but I'm not going to force it. Goff was taken. Yeah, the best one I think is Stafford. Unstacked, I'll just take Stafford. They're all unstacked to me. I can't envision Carnell Tate in Tampa Bay. I can't envision him in Green Bay. Maybe I could see him in New Orleans. Maybe that was the correct pick for the sake of the stack. But Matthew Stafford fell 9 picks, and I think he's much better in terms of total points than Tyler Shuck. But do I think Brandon Ayuk is going to play this year? I do, but I don't think he's going to sign until August. I believe that the Niners, who hold control of his rights, will make sure he is in free agency hell for as long as possible. He's going to be in limbo where the Niners still have him technically under contract in some weird way. Even though everything is voided, they can prevent him from hitting free agency for a very long time. But when push comes to shove, they will release him. And ultimately, I think he will sign a veteran minimum prove-it deal with the Commanders. That's what I think will happen with Brandon Ayuk. I could also see him with the Steelers potentially. Maybe even the Patriots. But I think the Commanders connection will indeed occur. That is my prediction with Ayuk. I could still see him be worthless though, even if he plays. Best 2:30 a.m. Insomnia Watch. I'm glad it's helpful, brother. Shout out Anthony BestBall on call here. He was on the channel a little over a month ago. That was a really fun stream. We had some good teams on that one, and he's been watching for a long time. Give him a shout out. Let us know if you're going to be going live anytime soon. And look for him on Twitter and YouTube. Anthony's got some sharp takes. Kittle circling back, hopefully. I'd be fine with Kittle here for the Brock Purdy connection. Running back room feels pretty good with Walker, Javonte, Rico, and Dobbins. Maybe I could have taken Blake Corum, though. Corum, ADP 99. I took Dobbins, who had an ADP right above him. Yeah, Kittle does make it back. I think I'm going to go George Kittle. Yeah. When he is going to be on the field, he's going to be a locked-in starter in your roster. He's going to be a tight end you want. Interesting. The team with Fannin and Pitts also takes Kincaid, so maybe a little bit thin, but not really. The team with Bowers also has Gadsden. Yeah, perhaps just a tiny bit thin at the tight end position. All 4 teams on this turn entered it without a tight end. I go Kittle likely goes 130 to the team with Jackson Dart. So mega giant stack on this team that also has Zay Flowers, Lamar Jackson. Double A cracked. Not a bad roster. As Montgomery and Scattaboo, kind of risky. With Pollard. Interesting. So, as long as Jeremiah Love is like a commander, you're in good shape. But a little shaky at running back there. Because one of those running backs might not avoid Jeremiah Love. If it's Scattaboo, I don't see him getting traded. If it's Pollard, I could see him on the move and still be a good click, though. Yeah, huge run at tight end around that turn. Malik Willis is still here, but I don't really give a shit. Kind of gross, but I'm going to push it. I'll take Kenyon Sadiq. I feel like I'm underweight with this player. I have a lot of Dallas Goedert already and much cheaper, so I will take the guy I have less of. But two big gambles at tight end so far. But I think the landing spots for Kenyon Sadiq are really good. There's a chance he goes to the Rams. I wouldn't rule it out entirely. It's unlikely to happen, but I wouldn't rule it out entirely. I think Sadiq is going to go to the Bengals. I'm really hopeful for that. If that's where he goes, he's going to fucking smash. And in hindsight, yes, I think I do regret taking Carnell Tate instead of Joe Burrow. But had I taken Joe Burrow, I guess I wouldn't have drafted Purdy. And so now we're looking at, was Addison or Carnell Tate a better click? Was Wandale or Carnell Tate? Who's the better click? I still think Carnell Tate's the better click between those guys, but I could totally be wrong. I might have fucked up this draft by taking Carnell Tate at 64, well past ADP, instead of just taking Joe Burrow. Because then we wouldn't have Purdy. We probably wouldn't have Kittle. Probably have a different tight end that wasn't as risky. So yeah, I think I should have taken Joe Burrow. We've learned the lesson. Round 6, even getting a falling value on Carnell Tate. Probably should just get the stack with Joe Burrow and T. Higgins. Okay. Purdy, Stafford, both at... Actually, no, I pulled up Purdy a little bit. Not a good price on Purdy, but a very good price on Stafford. Walker, Javonte, Rico, and Dobbins. CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, Rome Odunze, Carnell Tate, George Kittle, Kenyon Sadiq. Shaheed is still here? Fuck yeah, I'll take... Oh, no, he's going to get... What? You go Connor over Shaheed at 152? Madman. I will gladly scoop up the mistake. Fuck yeah. Rashid Shaheed after Travis Hunter, after Denzel Boston, after Stephon Diggs. Okay. The team with Darnold did not care. That's funny. If I had Darnold, I would have 100% taken Shaheed at 146. Bryce Young and Mendoza still on the board. I'll take Bryce Young. I don't have a lot of Bryce Young. He does have rushing value. He does have some pretty good rushing value. Koala, hopefully for Washington. I could see that, but like I said, that's what I think will happen, but I don't think it's going to happen until like August, after the Niners just like control his fate for a very long time. But what's up, Right Tie? How you doing? If you're, I'm interested. I'm definitely interested in having more of the viewers, a few of the viewers on the stream. If you're interested, hit me up on X or send me an email at niceandblunt@gmail.com and we can discuss potentially having you on the stream. It's different when somebody already has a YouTube channel. It's a little bit easier to justify, but in general, yeah, if you're interested, I'm interested in getting to know you, and hopefully we can set that up. Not just Right High, but anyone that's watching, anyone that's interested, you can contact me, and hopefully we can set something up. But no worries. You've drafted with us. You've had some good teams. But my only team with Ayuk and Daniels is together. Yeah. Yeah, man, if you wanna hit me up, like I said, niceandblunt@gmail.com is my email, or niceandblunt on X, and we can get something in the works. I can't guarantee you it'll happen like immediately. Scheduling, I have several guests lined up. I'm hoping to have, if all goes to plan, on Monday we have Hartman joining the channel. That's tomorrow. And then on Tuesday, I think we have PPR Tyler joining the channel. I believe Monday, Tuesday is looking up in terms of guests and star power. Excited for Hartman. Has drafted very sharp in the chat with us in our lobbies, and would definitely like to hear what he has to say. And then PPR Tyler grinding out here in the streets every day. Super impressive. PPR Tyler's channel is another one that I look up to in terms of learning the streaming game. Sweet. Brian Robinson's still on the board. Nice. Kenneth Walker, Javonte Williams, Rico Dowdle, J.K. Dobbins, Brian Robinson. I'm liking our running back room. We could have taken Tajay there. Could have done that. But we just took him in the last one. Let's go Brian Robinson. Tank was off the board. Bigsby at 173. At the moment, I think Brian Robinson is more valuable than Tank Bigsby. Just a little bit, but if you told me one of the starters above them was more likely to go down, it's probably Saquon. So it's probably a little bit better chance that Bigsby can be the workhorse, but more just like straight up value. If there's no injury to either guy above them, then I'd rather have Brian Robinson. Straight up. I trust Kevin Stefanski. I'm not quite sure what to make of the Eagles play caller, but we pushed tight end a little bit and probably got to get back in soon. But no, I will not. I will take Christian Kirk. That was always the plan with Brock Purdy. Glad I didn't forget. That was always the plan. Appreciate that, Right Ty. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Streaming late tonight. This is gonna be our final draft. We're doing 2, but this Christian Kirk pick, I think, saves the team. A phenomenal backstack with Purdy, if you ask me. Phenomenal association. Purdy with Kittle, Christian Kirk, and who knows, maybe even someone else. Maybe, just maybe. Make COD great again said, I take Bigsby ahead purely based on being in a way better offense. Higher ceiling if Saquon goes down than if Bijan did. I guess that is a fair statement. But I also just trust the Kevin Stefanski running back with my life. Like, whoever is Kevin Stefanski's RB1 is going to fucking crush. So from the like contingent upside, I could also just see a world where, like, okay, let's say this season It's Halloween, week 10, week 8, week 9, week 10, somewhere around there. And this is not what we are hoping to happen, just a hypothetical scenario, very unlikely. Both Bijan and Saquon get hurt in week 10. And we get the final 8 weeks where both Tank Bigsby and Brian Robinson are just taking over. I could see the Eagles kind of suck a little bit, and Tank just like not quite get over the hump because the play calling's bad. Jalen Hurts isn't as good, and just like overall the team is kind of ready to move on. You know, like without Saquon, they can't win a Super Bowl. Maybe, just maybe, the team just isn't as good. Whereas Brian Robinson, I think, will play his heart out just like Tank Bigsby, but also be in a really good scheme that I can trust with a pretty solid O-line as well. But they're both so similar. It's like really close. I will go Terrence Ferguson for the Stafford stack. We got Walker, Javonte Rico, Dobbins, and Brian Robinson. Our tight end room is Kittle, Kenyon Sadiq, Terrence Ferguson. I think I'm just going to go with 5 running backs. I think I'm going to stop with that 5th running back. I don't think I can really afford the 6th because I want a 4th tight end on this team. And then I obviously need to get back in at receiver. We could go Surratt here. We could go Vele. Wicks, also interesting. I have a lot of Pat Bryant. I think I'll pass. But mixing in another rookie. Our last team didn't have a single rookie. I'll go Surratt at 208. Now I'm kind of regretting maybe not going Mendoza instead of Bryce Young. I didn't really have a reason to take Bryce Young at all. Just getting what I thought was like a solid value on a third quarterback. Just to advance. But with Surratt, it would have been a little bit more spicy had we taken Mendoza. But Bryce Young can run the ball. Bryce Young can give you like a 2 rushing touchdown game. He has spiked with like 400 passing yards before. He spiked with like close to 30 points before. He spiked with some good underrated contributions on the ground. There was also like a stretch 2 years ago where like in 7 games, the man scored like 5 rushing touchdowns. He actually does contribute a little bit more in that department than he gets credit for. Pretty sneaky rushing value. But Brock Purdy, Matthew Stafford, Bryce Young, tight ends George Kittle, Kenyon Sadiq, Terrence Ferguson, Colby Parkinson off the board, so not going to go with the double stack there. There is Chico Shake with only 2 tight ends in front of me. Might snipe me on Tonjes, but I'm thinking Tonjes is a pretty solid click on this team, honestly. Like, I need some good flex contributions, and if Kittle doesn't do anything, I could be just so fucking screwed at tight end. Like, the rookie could just not pay off. Ferguson could be ass. Higbee could be a problem. Parkinson could be way better. But no, I think we're gonna just lock it up, lock it in. I came to win. Jake Tonjes, another San Francisco 49er. We have Christian Kirk, we have George Kittle, we have Jake Tonjes stacked up with Brock Purdy. Feels pretty good. CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, Roma Dunze, Carnell Tate, Rashid Shaheed, Christian Kirk, and Elijah Surratt. I could get away with 7, but I think I need an 8th. Nice. There's some interesting trade rumors with Dontavian Wicks. I don't have like any Zachariah Branch. Kyle Williams, I think, is okay. Jacoby Lane I've taken in the past. I don't think he's bad, but I don't think he's awesome. Already have a few rookie receivers. Don't think I need another. I like Tyquan Thornton a lot. We've taken Bryce Lance before. We've taken Yoshi before. We've mentioned Mac Hollins, Tez Walker as well. Even Isaiah Bond is kind of interesting. On the clock now. I could see Leggett pay off, but we're gonna root for a true legend, a true inspiration. We're gonna add John Mechie on this team. We're gonna mix in a John Mechie, Bryce Young team. Let's go. This is how it went in the 9 slot. CeeDee Lamb, Kenneth Walker, T. Higgins, Javonte Williams, Rome Odunze, Carnell Tate. Probably should have taken Burrow, but given our receiver room, I'm happy I got a 4th. I feel confident in it. I feel pretty confident with the rookie. Rico Dowdle, pick 81 with Brock Purdy, who actually had a lot of backstacking options. Actually feel pretty good about our Brock Purdy selection. J.K. Dobbins at 105 with Matthew Stafford 112. So despite maybe regretting passing on an early quarterback around 6, I think it came together with value. Purdy was not going to make it back, so justified to take him a little bit before ADP. We got a great price on Stafford, good price on Dobbins, and then Dowdle I think is the most valuable running back that was left on the board, or I took him. So love the running back room on this one. Tight end a little risky, but can totally work. We have depth. We're in good shape. I think timing works on this tight end build. We have George Kittle, Kenyon Sadiq. Also have Terrence Ferguson and Tonjes, but I got a good price on Rashid Shaheed. That kind of saved me a little bit. Bryce Young stacked up with John Mechie for what it's worth, but from an advanced standpoint, I like having the 3rd with Purdy and Stafford. Those guys, sometimes there's a little injury concern with those guys, but we have Brian Robinson from Atlanta. We got the Christian Kirk stack. We got the Terrence Ferguson stack. The Elijah Surratt mystery box. Maybe would have been better to go Mendoza, hoping for that to hit, but watch Surratt get drafted by Carolina or something. Watch him land where we need him to. Watch him be an LA Ram or something. Watch something interesting happen with Elijah Surratt. But Jake Tonjes to cover all our bases at tight end. We don't have to rely on Kittle being fully healthy. And then we also have John Mechie just for the vibes. The man came back from cancer. He's also being reunited with his college quarterback, Bryce Young. Maybe that connection, that chemistry does pay a little dividends. And maybe John Mechie is a little sneaky. I took Trevor Etienne in the last one in round 19. We go John Mechie in the last run. Some random flyers on the Panthers depth chart. Maybe, just maybe, they can contribute. So that is the team. An interesting 3-5-8-4. I think my running back room is fine. Walker, Javonte, that's a pretty good 1-2 punch. Rico is the 3rd. I'm always comfortable with that, but with having Dobbins there as the 4th, I feel like I'm definitely in business. And then the fact that he will get hurt opens the door that maybe Brian Robinson down the stretch is in our lineup. Maybe it would feel better, though, to have Tank Bigsby. Not going to lie. Wish I had Bigsby as well. But even Jordan James got sniped. That was an option I did not have come back to me. And then our quarterback room, I think, is solid, good enough. Receiver loaded up top. And then the Shaheed, Kirk, Surratt, Mechie depth, I think, is really fun. Good receiver room. And then tight end works. We have the Niners tight end every week. It works. I like this team. Let me know what you think in the comments. But we were also drafting with Wilson. Again, I want to take a look at Wilson's team. In 11, he has Daniels and Bo Nix. He stopped there, pretty legit. Pulled up Bo Nix by 10 picks. He has Devon Achane of Miami, DeAndre Swift of Chicago, Jadarian Price, rookie running back with Dylan Sampson, Sean Tucker. He's the one who took Jordan James, and then also took Kareem Hunt. I like the flyer on Kareem Hunt. Not gonna lie, I actually really like that click to mix it up as your 7th. Don't love this Samson click too much, but fair market value, and he is talented. Could get like 20 touches if Quinshon ever goes down, but a lot of moving parts in Cleveland. Don't love it personally. Sean Tucker's meh. He's fine. He's whatevs. But Jordan James, I think, is good. And then Kareem Hunt to get unique, I think is actually very interesting. Justin Jefferson, Garrett Wilson, Tet McMillan, pretty good trio. With some weird investments though. Like at that 3-4 turn, Wilson and Tet feel off. But then as Sutton, you did pull up Bo Nix for the stack. Casey Concepcion, Omar Cooper, pretty good rookies to have. With Ayuk, hopefully on the Commanders, a sneaky stack potential. And then Malik Washington in Miami, good floor play at pick 206. Good fall in price as well. Ferguson, Okonkwo, and Theo Johnson, pretty mid tight end room, but good enough to get the job done. Nothing special though. Nothing special. So good quarterback, good enough running back. Pretty good receiver, but a little bit disgusting. Like it's good, but then it's also like the Jets receiver, gross. Tet, I mean, I took Bryce Young, but like just a little gross. Cortland Sutton, a little gross. Just a little gross. But can definitely see the path as well. But Sanka says I have an uncomfortable amount of Bigsby, 38%. I think that's the right amount, my friend. That's the perfect amount. Let me share something with you. Let me share something with you. Once it loads. Exposure. Oh wow, he's overtaken. Interesting. My number one drafted player now is actually Jeremy Bernard at 33%. I have Tank Bigsby at 31. I don't be afraid to have over 30% Tank Bigsby. I've actually been getting sniped on Tank Bigsby quite often. It would be 40% had I not been getting sniped. So good for you, my friend. I've done 118 drafts. I have 37 shares of Tank Bigsby and 31%. I would not be afraid with 38%. I think you're in good standing. Jordan says, sorry man, I have 0% Barkley, so I grabbed Tank a ton. No worries, Jordan. Especially knowing that you were watching, or at least you maybe watched before, you would know that I was targeting Tank Bigsby. It's the correct click. It is the correct decision. You can also take Brian Robinson. I think both of them are correct. But you got Emmett Johnson and Tank Bigsby. Very, very nice. Very nice there. Love that for you, Delaney. How did Delaney do? He has Taylor, Jeremiah, Allen. Egbuka at 44 is nice. That's a bit of a gift. Quinshon at 53. So big commitment up top at running back with Alec Pierce, DK Metcalf, Wandale, and Laporta. Pretty good. Like, you know, a little tricky at receiver, but pretty good. Quarterback is elite. Tight end, one of my favorite values in Laporta, so I'm not going to complain. Has Coker and McMillan, great clicks there. Daniel Jones, meh, but you have Allen, so who gives a shit? JCM, Emmett Johnson, Bigsby. I like that 3-round combo for you. Especially missing out on Keaton Mitchell, Tracy, and Brooks. Yeah, might as well just take JCM or Connor, but that's all kind of the same. Emmett and Bigsby, awesome. Kate Otten and Njoku. So you like the Bucks offense, who can blame you? And Njoku's my most drafted tight end, actually. Bryant at 212, a good value. And Tony Williams, Ted Hurst getting unique with the rookies. I've drafted both of them. Good solid clicks. You know your shit. Good job. The bet on Allen, don't need him to be stacked. You did not get DJ Moore, so that makes a lot of sense. But the receiver room, piecing it together, Egbuka, Pierce, Metcalf, Wandale, Coker, McMillan. Love the receiver room, given how strong the running back room is. You're doing good. Nice team. Very good team. Um, Feel Good Inc. sniped us on Dak for no reason. How did they do? CMC London, Olave Brees, Watson, Makai Lemon, Dak for no reason, Fannin and Pitts, Jordan Love, at least with Christian Watson, Kincaid, Cam Ward, Diggs, Debo, Chimeri, Booty, Najee, Mixon, Justice Hill, and Ingram. The last 4 clicks are dog shit. Last 4 clicks are ass. But yeah, this, what a waste. I don't like this team. And it's not just because he sniped Dak unstacked. It doesn't make sense to me. Like the Love click, I guess makes sense, but like so much committed at the tight end when like you really need to mix in a running back in that. Like he passed on. He could have taken Gainwell, Dobbins, Pollard, Price, or Quorum. He had his pick of the litter, and like there's a reason all 5 of those went immediately. Like it was the right decision. So the Fannin click maybe cost him. Maybe should have gotten Algier over Fannin. I would have liked this team more. Yeah. Also a little bitter about the Prescott pick, but it's completely unstacked. Why would you want Dak Prescott unstacked? That doesn't make much sense. Whatever. He can do what he wants. Good for you. I like my team. I like my team a lot, actually. Super Fly Guy, no. Double A Cracked, nah. I'm gonna move on. I think we're done. With that in mind, let's go to the single. Appreciate you popping in, sticking with us. We have 19 watchers, 19 likes. Thank y'all. Thank y'all very much. But if you're watching on the replay, leave a comment. And if you want, you can also just leave a comment. Just scroll down after I'm done. That would help me out a little bit. But odds are it'll move you on to a different video once I'm done. But let me just catch up with the chat real fast. To be fair, I could see them working with Will Shipley a little more. That's possible, but Bigsby seemed to overtake Shipley last season pretty comfortably. And then they also gave Tank Bigsby number 8. That's a good sign. Letting him go single digit as the backup, that's pretty interesting. They also traded to get him. Howie Roseman is the best GM in the league, so I'm going to trust that he knows what he's doing. They like him, and the guy knows talent. And then, not to mention, Tank Bigsby is in a contract season. Tank Bigsby wants another contract, is going to play as well as possible this year when given the opportunity. I love Tank Bigsby. Love Tank Bigsby. Don't think Tyler Goodson is really pressing Brian Robinson for work. If Bijan went down, I defer. I like B-Rob more now by a hair. Yeah, they're on equal footing. They're on equal footing. By the way, we're hitting the pipe one more time before we bounce. But Keenan Allen, easy 150 points. I think that's way over optimistic. I could see Keenan Allen easily retire. I don't want him back in LA, honestly. I think that's a little too bold on Keenan. But it's possible he gets another 100 targets. That's possible. That's why I was thinking Goddard over Sadiq. I could have taken Goddard earlier on, but he could go to Carolina. That's possible. That's possible. Yes, one more. We caught up with the chat. We caught up. It's time. It's time. Thank you very much. I will see you tomorrow evening. We have Hartman joining the channel. And then on Tuesday, we also have PPR Tyler joining the channel. And hopefully we'll have some old faces on the channel again soon. Some new faces as well. And we got BestBall season rolling. It is very fun. And I appreciate everyone who stopped in and said hello, watched with us. We had 2 pretty decent teams. and I'm pretty happy with both of them. Different squads on both, but very legit overall. Peace out. I'll see you next time, and look out for tomorrow's stream with Hartman. Bye bye.